And welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately, 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out, and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are here for more Hunters of Calamity 2. Um, quick recap of last week if you missed it. Let's see. I finished up with the tentacle dog, drove the car, or the Jeep, ended up at the Church of the Sleeveless Way headquarters, so to speak. Met some familiar faces with Sleeve Saya, the little box robot, who'd been I was gonna say leading the cult, but lead is a strong word for what Sleeve Saya was doing. Um, um, Maintaining, I guess, kind of, sort of. Um, things were a little bit weird with that. But yeah, the group got to know kind of the layout and how things work. Started working on the blueprints for the flying car. Some things were stolen by Al, the robot in the crew. And I believe the plan is to gather up some TEDs, which is once you reach a certain level in this cult where they're at, your name becomes Ted. So they're going to gather up some TEDs and go look into one of the possible locations of that treasure vault. So that's kind of where we left things off. Before we jump into the action and everything again this week, give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. Starting as usual, top left, Zan, tell us a little bit about Jebediah and yourself.
Yeah, hey everybody, I'm Zan. I'm a professional DM and content creator for 5e and a whole bunch of other systems out there. And recently I've just gotten started in app development as well with Catpricorn Studios. So that's going to be a whole exciting new adventure that I'll keep y'all posted on.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I'm playing Jebediah Mason, who is a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, fresh-faced intern with the Church of the Sleeveless Way, who joined for their non-existent dental program. He's just a sweet little innocent boy who, is not maybe not the brightest in the bunch.
I don't know that I'd say it's non-existent. I mean, Dr. Ted does have a pair of pliers that, he pulls teeth out with. It's just not very good. We'll hop on down to... Oh, hey. Thanks, Mike Wayne, for gifting that sub to Kat. Kat, let us know how you'd like to use that $5 on the little chart down below. Let us know in chat. Thank you very much to Michael. And then, yeah, we're going to toss it on down to Nikki. Tell us a little bit about MJ and yourself. You might be muted there, Nikki. Still got no audio. We can come back to you if you like. Yeah, we'll swing back around. So moving over to at Agent Boss, they couldn't make it to the show tonight, but they normally play Allison, quote unquote Al 10, who's a robot with Klepto is one of the challenges, and so Al has been stealing a lot of things over the past couple of sessions, including a token, which basically lets her access more restricted areas in the Church of the Sleeveless Way compound. So Al will be busy doing those sorts of steely snooping around things today, and we'll catch up with the rest of the crew later. Go ahead and pass it on up to Pat. Tell us a little bit about Wesley and yourself.
Hi, I'm Pat. I'm a Tactric on Twitch and Twitter. I play TTRPGs on the internet when people will have me, and occasionally remember that I've got a channel and stream stuff there every so often. Not commonly. I play Wesley. Wesley is a prominent member of the cult of the Sleeveless Way, and is apparently in charge of it, at least from an administrative perspective, for the foreseeable future, which is just swell and will not be. It'll be fine.
Fantastic. And then Nikki, any luck with the microphone? I still can't hear anything. Sorry. All right, we'll hop on over to IC Historian. Tell us a little bit about Lula May and yourself.
Hello, friends. I'm IC Historian, and I will be playing Lula Mae Jessup, who is a classy lady who sells lemonade as a front for her illegal weapons modification and arms dealing business. She's kind of run afoul of one of the major corporations on Calamity, and in order to save face and as an advertising boom for Danco, Lula May has been reformed and is totally 100% gone legit and not about to take over a cult. She's not going to do that. Just want clarification for everyone.
Fantastic. And you taught everybody a new sort of proverb, if you will, last week, as I recall, that cleanliness is next to sleevelessness, right?
Yes, cleanliness is next to sleevelessness. Look, if you're gonna make dinner, okay, and it's been alive, you don't want it moving after it's done cooking. That's just a small rule of thumb, and I think that life will be better for all the Teds if we can just stick to that a little bit.
Perfect. And then Michael, tell us a little bit about Amanda and yourself.
Hello there, I'm Michael Wayne. You give me a clip, I'll give you a GIF. I will be playing Amanda Starr, who is from the Order of the Pisces, and may come up problem with them having a jacket and a succuban, kind of like Japanese Dwinklet kind of outfit, that all the Order of the Pisces have some form in their style, which has been using their talents of breaking things and then fixing it after to help with construct an air vehicle, because it's not really a problem if you broke it and then you fix it up afterwards. It's fine.
Perfect. And then Nikki, any luck?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, great. Now I have to say something. I'm Nikki, and I play MJ.
Awesome.
And yeah, this is going to be great. Everybody, we're going to have fun.
Absolutely. That just leaves me. So obviously I do tabletop streaming, but I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which includes a lot of tabletop related things like game design and art and graphic design and voice acting. A lot of fun stuff like that. And yeah, we're going to hop right in. So we'll fast forward a little bit. Let's say it's the next day. So you've had a night to continue working on the flying car, find the least dirty bunk, and sleep probably a restless night of sleep in these very unfamiliar and probably a little unsettling surroundings. As daylight hits the next day, what are you all doing?
I feel like this might be because instead of actually trying to sleep, they probably would try to go into a meditative state for about 4 hours so they wouldn't require to be asleep the whole night. Okay. Do you want to roll for that?
Yeah. Let's do that physical fortitude roll.
Yeah. Because if this is successful, roughly what they're doing has been working on the air vehicle all night.
Okay. An 11.
I was taking 11 is not good enough. So they probably
No.
fall asleep trying to meditate.
You can add one of those d6s to it. You're at 5, by the way, for the cast.
I think I'm going to need more than a 15 to do that, aren't I?
A 15 would get you through. Mechanically speaking, you would succeed. Flavor text speaking, you'd be tired. The next
I
day.
just think it's funnier they try and they just fall asleep standing
All
up
right.
trying to meditate over near the air vehicle.
Fair enough. So yeah, you fall asleep into a pile of tools and parts. So that's where you wake up the next day. Probably with some grease smudges and things on your face and arms. All right, so we know what Amanda's doing right after they wake up. What about everybody else?
I mean, I slept in the barracks where I was supposed to sleep. I'm just gonna go get breakfast now. Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to get breakfast as you head into the mess hall. There's the wonderful scent of the Ted brand canned meat with added bacon flavor. For of course,
Oh
for
yay,
breakfast.
it's hash Ted Browns, if you will. Yeah, no, this is great.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. There's shredded up what you could call potatoes, some type of tuber, and yeah, they're frying that up with the canned meat of questionable contents, but has bacon flavor.
That's great. I'm gonna have a glass of milk.
Okay. So yeah, they hand you a nice tray of that hash and a glass of what appears to be milk of some kind. What about Wesley?
So, do I have some kind of like personal chambers at this place? I feel like didn't Jeb mention a not insignificant amount of the money we blew went to some kind of chambers?
Yeah, there was a number of real estate deals that it went into. But yeah, you probably have your own fancy, I mean, relative here, but fancier room than the rest of the place. Probably still has a bunch of sleeve saya posters and things like that in it from where they'd obviously been using the room previously.
I think then, assuming I don't have anything in my room that I keep there that tries to kill me during the night, I think my plan for the next day, if we know that the car is going to take a few days to get these modifications, I'm going to try and gather any kind of like organizational documents or flowcharts or like community maps. Because I want to give Lula May the resources to make this run more smoothly.
Okay, so you look for those things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really find them.
Yep.
What you find instead, there's like a mobile, so like the like where it's hanging down from cords with little plates, little name plates that say who's under who.
It's just all Teds.
Yeah, pretty much. There's like Merc, Ted Jr. Actually, it's probably Merc, then Wesley, then Ted Jr., then Sleeve Saya, and then everything else under that is just Ted's.
Okay.
There's like little like Sharpie marker drawn on little symbols next to some of the Teds, but can't decipher what it means.
I mean, this is good. This leaves room for creativity. I feel it's a blank slate.
Yeah.
That's
You
how
find
we'll
that
pitch
in-
this.
And then some notes that the last crew took, shortly after leaving the vault. That Sleeve Saya has saved. There's some of those notes. That's about all you find as far as organizational information or flow charts or anything like that.
Yeah, I will gather all of that and then take it with me to go get some hashtag.
All right. All right. So yeah, you can see Jebediah in the mess hall as you head over there, and then with that, I'm gonna hop over to MJ. What's MJ doing in the morning?
Is there coffee?
There is.
I
It's
imagine
called-
there's stimulants. I don't know if there's.
They do have a thing in the mess hall that looks like coffee. Like it's in a coffee pot and everything. If you glance over the counter, though, you can see like the big tin, like it's like the old style Folgers cans, and it says Hoffy on it, HOFFEE. And it says something like now with 30% more real coffee flavor. It's clearly not actually coffee.
Does it have the eggshells like you have with the old cowboy coffee as well?
No. It doesn't have that. But it definitely is thick as you pour a cup.
Okay, I'm going to assume that she's probably seen something like this before, so she'll just go ahead and get a cup and then look for like the car to see what she could do to help work on it.
Okay.
The flying car.
It's
Perfect.
like it's like amphetamine water that's been colored with mud.
Hey, it's morning.
It's a kind of bean juice.
Yeah. It doesn't taste
It
great,
is
but it definitely wakes you
methamine.
up.
I don't know. Would we consider? Is that a legume? I'm not sure.
Oh, goodness. I mean, if we're talking about coffee beans, they're technically a seed.
And the coffee here is of nowhere near the quality that you can find at grinding quality Raven product
Grinding
pitch.
Coffee Company.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, with the code RAVVYN, you can get a discount.
Yes, we are sponsored by Grinding Coffee Company. And as noted, some players like to do product placement when appropriate. Yeah, I'm going to put that in chat. That was amazing.
Yeah, so MJ
That's
is
where you
wishing
go to
that she
get
had your grinder coffee.
Fantastic. It is really good coffee. Not the Hoffy that MJ's drinking, but the Grinding Coffee Company coffee is delicious. Highly
No,
recommend
she's
it.
really sad it's not grinding coffee, but she'll drink it sadly.
Alright.
Forlornly.
Yeah, it tastes it tastes like imitation instant coffee, if you can imagine that. Not a great flavor, but it does wake you up. You feel energized after drinking this, and you're able to head over to the hangar where you see Amanda with like an imprint of a wrench on her cheek. And some grease stains. It's very clear that Amanda fell asleep here last night.
Immediately, you even though they're still working on stuff, you see these marks, almost as if they first thing they fell asleep was in here, and then they woke up and got working.
Is she snoring?
No, Amanda
No,
is literally working. That's why you can see
Oh, she's working
the
now?
wrench
Okay.
cheek mark.
So yeah, you're welcome to try to help if you'd like.
Yeah.
Good morning, or whatever pleasant time period it is.
Good morning. So, do I need to have a wrench implant in my face too?
Oh, it was an accident.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, what are we doing now? Can I help?
Certainly. Now, are you wanting to go more on the frame? Because right now I've been working more on getting these like bellows to work. Because I know it used to be a bagpipe, but it doesn't have that. So I think that could help us when we push down on this, get that extra flame, and to have that puff. And here's the thing, like I've found, is we get that right in this big bellow of grease, that allows for Lula Main to be cooking something up there. So we got a barbecue over there with the flames. I've been more working over here on the mechanics to allow for flight than the frame. So we do have a basic frame. I also have over there some, because I couldn't find any exact tires to have on there. I have in there are two like halves of a pool that are tied together on that should work if we can get them attached to the wheels. That way we can at least have it moving much like a tank and not have to worry about any potholes.
Um, are the pools strong enough?
Well, again, these are roughly to help. Like, they are very thick. I have to use the blowtorch function on my shields to cut them, and that took me about an hour. So I think they're very sturdy. And
So what did
anywhere
you
there was
just?
a tear, I added duct tape to it. So it should be fine.
So what's are the tires too big? The actual tires?
No, we just didn't have any rubber or tires. We just had the rims.
Okay. I'm going to look around to see if I can find something a little bit more sturdy. And I'm going to get. You want some coffee?
I have not tried coffee. I shall try that. Hopefully it is better than the lemonade I tried.
Well, here you go. Here's some coffee.
Thank
And
you.
I will, while you drink that, I'm going to go look for something that's different.
Okay. So, Amanda, can we get another physical fortitude roll from you for the your first time drinking coffee? Um,
And
and
I'm
then
betting you're going to use the unlucky feature on this if I roll well.
we'll see. And then MJ, I need a sight roll
Okay, let
to
me.
to look for something else. Um, so a 12 for Amanda. Um, I might be aging myself here, but if anybody is familiar with Homestar Runner and like the Strong Bad emails,
Yes!
the
That's
episode where Strong Sad gets some caffeine, it's pretty much what's going on with Amanda. So like you are, the
Oh,
world
okay, we
has
got it. This really good.
slowed.
We got it. And right here.
Exactly, the world has slowed down for you. And you are flying around everywhere, super hyper. There's a way it could show up like a Lego under a bad guy's foot. That would be cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do, Kat. I'll see what I can do.
MJ, just like for a shorthand, like it looks to be like they've just been put on fast forward, as like they are constructed out of like these sleeves that have been tossed away and then knitted together, and then are being kind of like propelled with each punch of these like bagpipes to test them out, and then moving on for each part of the to this kind of like big bellowing like bathtub that is hooked up from like gasoline and stuff to allow for a big giant fire for Lulame to cook essentially an entire cow on. And while it's creating lift and the propellers, all of this is just happening really fast, and you're really confused as to why they have old basket carts in the bathtub. But that's just so that you can lift it up and drop in the food later.
Wow. Okay. And then Nikki, if you're having any trouble with Roll20, I can also hop on before you. Okay, there we go. Never mind. Rolled a few times there. That's odd. Let me. back to that. So the first roll was 16. Okay. So with a 16, you don't find any tires, but you do find like a bunch of really um, like shredded up, like chewed up rubber hose. So it would not work as like a gardening hose, but it might work if you like coiled it around something as some sort of a tire. There's probably enough there to work as tires instead of having what I'm guessing are like the inflatable kiddie pools.
No, that would be too thin. These are those big, giant, and like tubs that a lot of people will just like throw out that have that very metal thick container that have these very styrofoam like little rims that are attached to them. So roughly, Amanda had to use essentially the shield to have an electrocution to make kind of like a mini blowtorch out of the shield function on their yo-yos to actually burn through them like a flame torch. Or it's to get them apart so that they had two separate threads that could allow, when attached to the rim of wheels, to just kind of like turn like a tank. But these are just like...
I think I see what you're talking about. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, like they haven't been attached to the actual wheels rings. They've just been kind of like cut in half so that they could be allowed to if someone gets to that.
More like a conveyor belt kind of
Like a tank.
look to it. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
okay.
why I gave the example of like a tank tread.
Gotcha. In that case, yeah, the hose can be used to supplement that to give it more traction, so it's works better. Like the tub of a clothes washing machine minus the rest of the machine. Yeah.
No,
Okay,
the tub
cool.
is actually a bathtub because we need to have it big enough for Lula Main to cook an actual cow in.
No, I was responding to what Kat said in chat. Yeah, I'm on the same page now. Sounds good. So yeah, MJ, you do find some rubber hose that can be used to help with that. And with that, let's hop over to Lula May. What's Lula May doing?
So Lula May got up and is like supervising some of the Teds while they cook breakfast. And she's like, helping them like figure out like a routine of like we actually like clean the dishes after we've used them so that they're clean when we use them next time. And I think that she is moving on to help some of the Teds learn the concept of doing laundry, because there's a bit of confusion there as to like the function and purpose. And she is sort of like overseeing a lot of them. It sort of is like of like a Bizarro World Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs kind of situation going on, where like the Teds are like learning for the first time that they don't have to have overalls, that have never seen a drop of water, and like so
you're gonna put the Dire Dogs out of work. The Dire Dogs are some of the founding members of the Church of the Sleeveless Way. What are they gonna do if they're not the employed dishwashers?
There is not enough time left in the universe for us to unpack all that is wrong with that idea. So I'm just going to let that one sit for you, and we'll just hold that in our hearts, and we're going to move on. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen a dog with their own insectoid ecosystem on them. So perhaps they are not necessarily the best avenue for us to achieve sanitary cooking conditions. And I think she's also helping the Teds put like poncho-esque armholes in their blankets so that they can have blankets at night but not feel like they're wearing sleeves. So like she's like, I just imagine this little montage of like the Teds like figuring out that they can put their arms through their blankets so that they aren't cold, and like doing laundry and stuff like that. And all the while she's like, like coaxing them along, very like you know, like this Bizarro World, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and sort of getting them to kind of talk a little bit about like the lay of the land. And she's kind of like looking for information on Merc and Wes and Sleeve Saya and like that kind of dynamic.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Pat?
I appreciate the culture you're trying to bring to things. I will say the last time somebody tried to bring in scabs to replace the dire dogs, there were a lot less limbs the following week.
Well,
they got very bitey.
okay. We'll maybe institute a composting system where we can save some of our scraps to keep the dogs happy and also cut down on the number of intestinal parasites that we're kind of cultivating in and of ourselves.
What? But
I mean,
they said that everyone shared Cletus, and Cletus is the bond that shares us, that binds us all, that and our bare shoulders. Cletus, the tapeworm.
you know how I said earlier that we're gonna hold that in our heart?
Cletus has been in our compound for, well, what tapeworms are generations. For us, it's not that long, but you know, tapeworms don't really live a whole long time. And they said if you had Cletus, you were almost a Ted.
Yes, yes.
As you finish that sentence, you see Amanda zoom in like a blur, grab another cup of coffee, and then is gone.
You know, Jed, I think that this is a really great way for you to really show your, you got a good brain in that noggin of yours, boy. I think we need to maybe perhaps create a sort of a way that we can honor and remember all that Cletus has done for us without, the internal bleeding and neurological struggle that goes with a late stage parasite. And you know something? I think that you possess the creativity, the drive, and the devotion to the sleeveless lifestyle. So you're going to do that. So I'm going to sit you with that. You just sit there, and when you get an idea, you come back to me. But I have a feeling that our friend just stole another cup of your liquid meth, and we may want to go take a look at that. So she's going to like do the thing, put like Ted with the secret journal under your pillow that's no longer a secret. I'm going to want you, remember, after we're done with the blankets, we're going to fold them and shake out the cockroaches. Ted, they said you were a slow learner, but I did not believe them. Let's go, because we got to take care of her, because she's going to blow something up, and she's going to like drag sort of Jed off in whatever direction that Amanda went.
Okay, just kind of grunts and does a thumbs up at you in response, by the way.
So I'm liking this idea. I think there's a lot of organizational changes you'll be able to help us make. And you had a great idea there, where I really think that Jeb needs to be paired with you as a cultural consultant to make sure that in these changes, we don't infringe on the religious traditions of the compound. And in so doing, get ourselves killed.
Yes. I tell you, I may not have been with you for that first bit, but you got me back in the end. But
I did gather as many organizational resources as I could, and let's just say, imagine we've got a blank slate to work with. Like, if they could have, I think they would have drawn it on one of those Etch-a-Sketches. So just imagine you're erasing it by shaking.
Okay. So I do have to know, this Merc fella, they all are very reverent of him and his contribution. And I'm just wondering, like, on a scale of 1 to my rotting corpse being left to bleach in the sun, where are we in terms of crossing any line that he may or may not possess? Because I like all my insides. I mean, we all may have a little Cletus in us, but I would like it to stay in us. If you get my drift.
So Merc is, it's there, not here right now. So that is obviously instills a lot of flexibility. That as long as we can as long as we don't actively step on any of his decrees, I think we're good. When and if he comes back, that will be, I will be curious to see how many new things stay functioning. So it's that reference. I don't know at what point you become difficult enough to kill to become a god, but at some point I don't think I think that line blurs enough and he's there.
All right, so I'll kind of keep that in my little mental parking lot, but I do believe that we need to get to that hangar because, I mean, bless her heart, but little darling with the yo-yos did not have a look that said, I'm following all of the directions and living my safest life on her face.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure like there's I mean, the folks here have been on Hoffy for significantly longer and are still alive, so I'm sure we'll intervene in a timely manner.
I think that's going to be something we're going to want to circle back to. Have you heard the phrase circle back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we may need a whiteboard and like an organization. We'll talk. I'm sure there's a legally distinct Staples around here somewhere. We'll be able to get ourselves all settled up. I'm going to march off, whether or not people follow me, march off in the direction that Amanda went.
We'll grab like the Pulp Fiction adrenaline kit in case we need to restart a heart at some point.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, that comes free in every pack of coffee.
It's the prize at the bottom of the tub.
Yep.
Is it bad that all I could think of is like, man, I could use that on Monday mornings?
Just to clarify as well for legal purposes and other things, coffee is actually not a drug. It's not meth.
No.
It just acts like speed. But no, it's not drugs. It's just really, 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 really bad coffee.
Not with that attitude.
Anyways, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, thank you very much again, Michael, for that gifted sub to Nikki. Nikki, just let me know in chat or in Zoom chat if you'd like to do 2 plot points, and then what you'd like to suggest those plot points do, or if you want to give out a couple of D6s. So we've got Jeb, Wesley, and Lula May doing some brainstorming on organizational processes, and we've got MJ and Amanda working on the flying car. Al is nowhere to be seen by anybody. Nobody has seen Al all morning. So hopping back over to the hangar, Amanda, if you could, give me a mechanical engineering roll with advantage, because you are moving like the Flash.
Correct me, do I need a 25 here, or is a 22 good enough?
So 22.
'Cause I asked, like, if that would be good enough before I roll the d6, so...
I will put it this way. A 22 will give you something. A 25 would be better.
Then I'm going to use the d6 then.
Okay, but you did not fail.
So that's a 28 total.
28 total. Yeah, you do pretty well. You the amount of work that you did in say like 2 hours is like 4 hours worth of work. So you're actually getting a lot of progress made on this car, and instead of a few days, you are pretty sure it would just take you maybe 1 or 2 more days to get this finished. And MJ, you're able to assist, but it is pretty much just like a hold up a tool and there's a blur that grabs the tool out of your hand and then puts it back when they're done. So I imagine it's a lot of like, wrench, zoom, 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 hammer, zoom, 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 zoom. A lot of that running back and forth.
Not just that, it's probably whatever Nikki finds. So it would be a case of, oh, they found a piece of pipe. And then Amanda goes, thank you very much. And then every item is just a found item that Nikki finds. Like just come back up, thank you very much. And then get into proper tool later after like Nikki's just reminding, you actually need this too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. That's perfect. All right. Well, after a while of that, I imagine Ulame and Wesley, you mentioned going to check on the progress. Does everybody go to the hangar at that point then?
I'm gonna follow Wesley. Did we ever work in Cat's plot point?
Oh, no, we have not. I am waiting for the opportune moment.
Okay. Sure. I will leave that to you then. Yeah, I will follow Wesley.
All right. In that case, the three of you get to the hangar, and yeah, you see what I just described. Amanda running around like the Flash, and a surprisingly large amount of progress made on the flying car.
She's thriving. Everything was fine. We got the right substance for the job. That's where the cult that's when the church excels.
I have to admit that I am amazed at the lack of things that are on fire. So, that's good.
Out of character, something you probably notice is it's mostly MJ directing Amanda.
Totes.
Mm-hmm.
MJ has the clipboard, so therefore she is the supervisor.
Where's my clipboard?
Amanda, if you could, I need another physical fortitude check. 14. That is not going to succeed.
Just out of curiosity, would it be a good idea to use a D6?
This isn't going to be like...
Bad idea. Understandable, then I'll let it stay.
You're not gonna die. Or anything like that. So it's up to you, but...
Let it stay.
Alright, so sticking with the 14. I see, guessed it. The crash hits. So you come down off of this Hoffy high, which is it's obviously way more intense than regular coffee, but it also lasts a shorter amount of time. Probably designed that way to get you to buy more of it. Yeah, you start crashing really hard, and because what's up?
I just wanted to add too, because I find it real funny if, where they crash, they fall on that kind of the bagpipe, and you just hear a sad.
Possibly. It's going to depend on a couple things that are about to happen. So, as you crash, your legs stop moving at the speed that you expect them to move, and you trip. And you are flying directly towards Jeb, who will need to roll nimbleness to get out of the way.
Oh, nimbleness?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not great. Sorry, roll 20 is going slow. Nimbleness. Oh,
I imagine
that's-
all of us are like, as
yeah.
we're waiting for roll 20 to
That's a
refresh.
10.
All right, so Amanda, you trip over your own feet. You barrel into Jeb at full speed. Two of you go down, and I'm gonna say, yeah, you land on the bagpipe thing. It makes this loud, groaning, horrible noise. And Jeb, because Cat was so nice and spent those plot points, you find that one of your teeth has come out and is laying on the ground.
Oh,
In the
oh,
process.
oh no. Oh, that's okay. There's great dental, right? There's great dental insurance. That's what they told me at least. Okay. Oh man. Oh.
Did the whole world just speed up?
Oh, darling. Lula May's gonna like take off her, like she has this like cute like lemonade lady like head scarf, and she's gonna like take it off and like give it to Jeb to hold on his, I'm assuming, bleeding significantly face.
Yeah. There's some blood coming from the mouth.
Oh man, it's like that time I fell down the stairs and tried to eat a stair. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
So Jeb, you do know that the dentist, quote unquote dentist, is in the back of the compound. You are.
I'm
able
gonna
to
follow-
go there if you want.
I'm gonna follow first aid protocol, and I'm going to put the tooth in a cup of gasoline, because that's the protocol around here. And then
There's
I'm
gasoline readily available in the hangar.
and yeah, I'm gonna run off to the to Dr. Ted.
Yep.
I'm gonna run off to Dr. Ted.
As you open the door to his office, it's pretty much like I described last week. So you've got like a big sort of half exam room, half surgical bay, like is the main room, also part waiting room. And then there's another closed exam room off to the left. And standing over somebody, just sort of digging around in their chest cavity, is a Ted with a sleeveless doctor's coat, no shirt, and then some sort of canvas material like pants with suspenders. And he looks at you and goes, "Hey there, I'll be with you in a moment."
Okay. Is there a logbook I need to sign?
No, don't worry about that. Just have a seat. And
Ah,
you can hear from the guy that's on the table looking down, going, "Am I supposed to be able to see my lung?" Quiet. Shh. And doctor puts some sort of like face mask, like an oxygen mask type thing, on the guy, and he seems to pass back out. And continues to do surgery for a little while.
Okay.
Hopping back.
So
over
he's
to
a
the
traditional
hang-
barber.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A bad traditional barber.
So there's duct tape over every mistake then?
Yeah, kind of. Or like if you go in there for surgery, you're probably gonna have a giant scar, and it's gonna be full of like metal, like staples.
Um, how many people in Lula May's experience so far getting to know the Teds, how many of them would be still alive with those surgery scars? Like, how many might she have seen?
They usually survive the first one.
Okay, fine, all right.
Um, yeah, first surgery, Dr. Ted's got a pretty good survival rate. Multiple surgeries, the survival rates go downhill pretty fast. Um, yeah. So, back at the hangar, what's everybody else doing?
Lula May is gonna watch Jed leave, and she's gonna turn to Wes and say, you know, morally, I know that I should follow him to the doctor's office. I mean, the boy is a love, but I don't know if necessarily he is quite in the position to be, you know, making long-term decisions for his health. But like gastrointestinally, I don't think that that's really good for me. But I do think we need to get into the office here and see what we can maybe do about this Merc situation and all that.
Well, I think it's very generous that you assume that there's a formal office here.
Wes,
Do
Lee,
you hear something?
there an option for not coffee?
Oh no, it's already not coffee. Do you need more?
I
Something
don't think
to speed things up because the entire world has slowed down.
Oh, darling, she's gonna like she fell, yeah.
No, I did
Where did-
not fall. I am simply out of sync with time.
Lula
Where did
May is
she
gonna
get
guide her.
from?
Oh, sorry.
Where did she get coffee from? Who would have given it to her?
MJ, you
Oh, hi.
made
Good morning. No, it wasn't me.
a cup of coffee.
Oh, no, I don't want any. Thanks for asking.
I was not asking.
Oh, well, I don't really like being told what to do.
I was
So-
not telling you.
So what were you doing?
The one that let me have one
No, that wasn't me.
sample.
That was that Ted over there.
Yeah,
That wasn't
no,
me.
that was the cafeteria, Ted. We just saw you take it off the counter.
No,
I didn't see
the first one was from MJ.
No.
It
I
was the second one from where they pointed to get some.
So,
I would have given you my coffee.
MJ, give me a charm roll. Or I can also hit it for you if you'd like on the character sheet. Either way.
I'm going to try to do this and only do it once. Okay, you said what roll again?
Charm.
Charm? How many times did it roll that time?
Just the one. You rolled a 5. So for everybody else's benefit, MJ is not very convincing, and Amanda sounds like she's remembering this correctly and telling the truth.
Look, I think we could spend all day here figuring out which one of us unfortunately gave the poor dear the legally distinct caffeinated beverage. But I think what's really important now is little darling needs to find a place where she can have a nap, or else I think she'll be making that nature will be making that decision on its own.
Yeah, most of the stimulants here you either kind of need to commit to as a long-term path, or you're just get used to these troughs in the downtime. Totally your call there. There's no judgment. That is not one of the things that they judge you for here.
Oh, if I need a nap, I have a workaround for that. And then Amanda just begins to start very slowly to try to get up and then just move into kind of like a dance, just moving very slowly.
Okay, so what did they give you something besides the Hoffy? Like
No, this is a way to help focus the body.
Darling, I think you're going to need a little bit more than focus. I don't know necessarily if this is really a focus struggle we're having right now, but you do what you need to do, sweetheart. You live your truth. Do not let me stop you. MJ, it looks as though this sort of partnership has been working just beautifully so far. I think you're doing a great job. You're my girl. But I think that we're just, you have done great. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. And she's gonna like back away from the sort of Hoffy situation, like not really knowing how to be a productive member of this conversation.
Yeah, no, it's I imagine that this scenario is playing out in several places across the camp right now. We are very liberal with the the substances. It's part of the doctrine.
Yeah, I found a mixing bowl with something that somebody told me was brownie batter, and they suggested I ask you about it, but I'm gonna use my judicious nature to suggest that perhaps may not be a good long-term success strategy.
1,000-yard stare. Right.
Probably hearing some like faint echoey audio of Brownie being like, "Come back, Wesley."
Like that song in the Reefer Madness musical.
Wesley, come back. You can blame it all on sobriety.
Come back.
Do I need to make like a discipline roll or something?
No, you're fine.
No.
Right.
Wesley hasn't started drinking again or anything like that, right?
Not yet. Not.
Okay. So, no, you don't have to make any rolls.
No. Lula May is gonna kind of like nod kind of in the direction of like the central compound area to go and figure out some of that organizational material that Wes found.
Okay.
Yes, I think the goal is going to be. Sure, I'm not opposed to improving quality of life, but also I think there's a certain happy medium that you try to achieve when you're in an organization like this, where people don't get to the point of considering why they're still here and might want to leave. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. I wonder though if expecting them all to die before they're 30 is really the only option other than, self-awareness.
Right. So I mean, luckily that was actually part of the pool that we recruited. That was already kind of the demographic with the bandits that we picked up. So yeah, it's again, I'm not opposed to increasing our median survival time, just as long as we don't need them questioning too much, especially when the god of the church is not present.
Oh,
For them, someone who might survive a mob's direction of anger.
Or a consumed grenade.
I saw him turn into a mosquito and try to fly up someone's ass at one point. He's insane.
that is a special degree
Yeah.
of terrifying. But I do think that, what I'm trying to do to bring to the TED population. I'm not trying to change anybody's ways. It's just that I think that, you've got the potential here for long-term consistent growth and success. And, happy TEDs are devout TEDs.
Sure.
I mean,
So are drunk Teds.
right. I mean, listen, I have done nothing to curb the amount of libation that
No.
is dealt with here. I mean, in fact, I don't know, quite frankly, how any of y'all survive a sober moment, given the food options that I have seen available. What I'm just trying to bring now is I see this really being in a growth swing. We're here now, but we could be up here.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like, again, in my absence, or probably even in my presence, I feel like a lot of the structure seems to have just globbed together in random piles. And I feel like an area you might be able to help us is in assessing the strengths of each TED.
Yes.
And we can mix that up a bit, I think, and get some success there.
Yeah, I do have to also ask. I've only been here a day, and to be fair, any position I may have gleaned is through nothing other than the subtle charm of my demure personality and outright deception. But I'm not quite sure, aside from getting a real even upper body tan, I'm not 100% sure what y'all actually do here. And I think perhaps some more clarity of our goals. Have you ever heard of the SMART goal format? I mean, you have something that is like specific, it's manageable. I don't know what the A is because I don't have it in front of me, because I should have looked it up before I started saying this. But then it's time bound. Like you have like an idea of like where you want
that's
to go.
fine. 3 letters is, you're gonna start losing a lot of the people here after those anyway. So it's fine that we'll circle back to the A.
Yeah, okay, we'll get there. I'm just saying, like, we all already don't have sleeves on, and kind of like beyond that, and staying, shall I say, wasted out of our gourd. I'm not really sure exactly what the long-term vision is.
I'm pretty sure those were the 2 founding principles.
Great.
Just like as you said, wasting, like you see Amanda slowly trying to dance in the background. That's been going on the whole time you're talking, before the camera just focused back on you to illustrate your point.
Speaking of which,
I have a question.
give me a magic engineering roll there, Michael. Yeah, what's the question?
Are there pets around where they were working on the vehicle?
Are there what around?
Pets.
One more time.
Pets.
Teds.
Are there
Oh,
pets?
Teds. I kept hearing chips, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not what you said. Teds.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, there's some Ted. They're not in the hangar, but there's Teds around, like just outside the hangar.
Could MJ get them to do stuff for her?
Yeah.
Okay.
MJ you were granted platinum TED status last episode. You can get them to do pretty much any damn thing.
Okay. Okay. When it's my turn, I'll have fun.
Okay. So yeah, Amanda, you're able to use your life magic and the dancing to sort of stabilize yourself, and you're pretty much back to normal now.
Back to the grind. And then Amanda just gets back in the background of working on the parts again.
All right. And then MJ, what were you wanting to do?
Okay, while Amanda was not doing so well, MJ just got some of the tests and Well, she doesn't have anything to do while she's waiting for Amanda, so she starts having them like just stack random things as high as they can go.
And Amanda, regardless of how silly or stupid, finds a way. For example, like you probably pull out a crowbar that's half there and a rebar bar, which somehow Amanda uses that as part of a cage to be in front of the motors, so that way whoever has to mess with it back there doesn't actually get hurt by the blades that are made out of busted down beer cans.
Yes,
Maybe they can play a game.
all of that is fine. all of that happens.
Are they playing a game? Like something really stupid?
Yes, like you say the stupidest thing and Amanda finds a way. Like I'm guessing like you find a ball of string and Amanda goes, "Oh, that's a great idea. We attach that to these doors and then we got a way to control the airflow." Brilliant.
And this is all
Claps.
going on while they're talking about like how to improve everything. They're like goofing off, and Amanda's trying to work.
Oh, it's amazing. All right, so all that's going on. You're making progress on the car. Wesley and Lula May are having their organizational conversation. Before we go to our break, we're gonna hop over to Jebediah. Dr. Ted gets done with his patient, who's then unceremoniously just sort of he kind of kicks the operating table, which is on wheels, and it just sort of rolls into the other room, and the door just sort of automatically closes behind them. And he just turns to you and goes, "All right, what seems to be the problem?"
I had a tooth knocked out.
Okay.
I was told there was really good dental program here, so I put it in gasoline like I was told in the pamphlets. Yeah.
All right, and who told you we got good dental?
The pamphlets.
Pamphlets. All right, I gotta talk to Ted over in publishing. Sure, I can help you. We'll take a look.
It's not gonna hurt, is it?
Existence itself is pain. So far that existence is pain, this will not be any different than existing.
Okay.
So he takes the cup, looks at it, and goes like, "Oh, okay. I think we'll just need to sanitize this," and pulls out one of those long lighters, like the type that you use on fireplaces, and lights it. All the gasoline goes up and flame, obviously, and then he grabs a pair of what are they called? They're basically tweezers, but there's a medical term for them.
Forceps?
Thank you. Yeah, he grabs some forceps and pulls the tooth out, and it's like black now because fire. But otherwise, it's fine. And he's like, "Yeah, I think we could stick this back in," and goes over to a shelf, which looks more like a hardware shelf than a medical shelf, and pulls out like a sheet metal screw. Says, "Yeah, I think I can just glue this to the screw, and then we'll just drill this in. Otherwise, I could just, you can go without the tooth, and we'll just make sure to sanitize where it was."
Can't you just like glue it to one of the teeth that are still there?
I mean that won't really hold.
Oh.
So we'll drill this screw in, and that'll be a whole lot of existing, and then we'll glue the tooth to the screw, and that'll hold it in place.
Okay.
So which would you like to do?
Uh, is there like any kind of medicine to make it hurt less?
Well, I mean, you can. There's always the Merc Moonshine. You can.
I've never had that before. I've not been high enough rank. Is it okay?
Sorry, I dropped my pen. Oh, yeah, it'll be fine. Just don't tell anybody. And
Okay.
he pulls out like stereotypical ceramic jug with like the little finger handle.
Okay. Oh, this tastes like existence. I don't. How much should I drink?
Oh, I'd say about half that jug if you don't want to feel anything.
Okay.
Did you have somebody that you look kind of nervous? Do you need somebody here with you?
No,
Someone to hold your hand or anything?
No, that's okay. I'm gonna be a strong Ted one day. I don't need anyone to hold my hand. It's okay. Okay, just a couple of more sips and then a few sips after that, and oh.
And Jebediah just weeps silently while drinking.
All right, about half the jug in. I'm gonna say just automatic fail on the physical fortitude check to stay awake. You pass out. Dr. Ted does his thing, and whenever Jebediah wakes up, you'll have a tooth back in place and a really, really aching jaw.
Oh, whoa. Whoa. Oh, man.
Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna say we're gonna fast forward from here a little bit to where Amanda has finished the flying car. So if there's anything that you want to do during that time, think about that now, because when we come back from the break, we'll go into having you all go to your next destination, which will be presumably the definitely not a dire dog den location of potential treasure vault location, or somewhere else. But you'll be ready to go wherever you're wanting to go when we come back from the break. So, with that, we're gonna go on a 10-minute break. Go stretch your legs, hydrate, grab snacks, whatever you like to do. Go order some grinding coffee company coffee if you want to.
Do it!
Don't forget about that code RAVVYN to get a discount.
Yes.
Fabulous.
And then we'll be back in about 10 minutes, and yeah, we'll see what this crazy crew gets up to. All right, be right back. All right, we are back. So, another night has come and gone. It's the next day. Our Wesley and Lula May have figured out at least some of their administrative problems. Amanda and MJ have successfully completed the flying car, and Jebediah has had the tooth fixed. So Jebediah, as you because there were some plot points spent, as you head to the mess hall the next day and you smell that bacon flavored Ted brand canned meat cooking, you hear a little voice that sounds like it's coming from your mouth, going, "Oh boy, I like bacon flavored Ted meat."
I like bacon flavored Ted meat too. Okay. Well, it's good to know that I agree with myself. That's normal. Is this oh boy, I probably shouldn't drink. It was a doctor prescribed thing. I don't know if I have the constitution for this full time.
It'll be
Okay.
fine. You're a lot of fun when you're passed out or drinking or whatever. I don't know.
Okay. So do you want head meat then?
Yeah.
What sauce do we prefer? Should I call you Toothy?
Sure.
What?
And your tooth suggests the red sauce because it's a sweet tooth, and the red sauce is sweet.
Okay.
And yeah, it just continues to talk to you periodically from time to time. As a side effect of the quote-unquote anesthetic.
Okay, cool. I can dig that.
Thanks again to MJ for those plot points and Michael for the gifted subscription, which produced those plot points.
That was Cat, right?
No, Cat was a different one.
Oh goodness.
You're just popular tonight.
Oh god.
Yay! Oh boy.
And yeah, your ghost tooth is kind of insane. So have fun with that. I completely lost my train of thought. Where were we? Oh yes, assemble. You're able to get together, and you're all set to go wherever it is that you'd like to go.
I imagine it's very much of Amanda like pointing out. Now, again, this is where like MJ had the great idea to use these tubes, had no purpose, but we had that in with this vacuum cleaner, turn it into a high pressure thing, shoot bottle caps out of it. So every time you drink like one of your famous moonshines, boom, we got another ammo ready. And we got a great feature on that for those empty jugs. Like, and MJ just was brilliant on this. That a little bit of wicker in there with some gasoline, perfect. So you get rid of the bottle caps and those bottles in a recycled format.
Could MJ have taken some of the coffee? The was like coffee?
Sure.
Just
you're,
like
you're a
stored it in her
platinum
bag.
level. Yeah, you're a platinum level Ted. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, she wants some to use later.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to grab like a couple of tens of it if you want, which is a lot of coffee.
Does it have to be brewed, or is it like just something you could drop into somebody's drink?
It's yeah, it does have to be brewed. It's like
Okay.
coffee grounds. It's just not entirely coffee.
Yeah, unlike Grinding Coffee Co., which you can get high quality coffee.
You did it, so I didn't have to.
So much product placement.
She's going to put some into like a flask, and then some of it she's going to take a can. Like she's going to have some already brewed.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and where are you all heading? Are you heading to the treasure vault location that says definitely not Dire Dogs, or one of the other 6?
I think we had decided Dire Dogs because it's the one that was closest to the compound, and we kind of wanted to go in like a I don't know, efficient manner. But I don't care, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this will be our first expedition, right? It's nice and close. It's a good way to like stretch our legs, see how things go.
Yeah.
Now, is the plan that we as a group will take the flying car and Ted's will take the regular vehicle?
I mean, that would work.
Mhm.
Now the question
Or
is,
what? Whatever assortment of animal people that can leave the compound.
Believe
Yeah,
it,
that-
you have to be a lapis chinchilla or in a similar genus.
Now, again, I think this might be, depending on what you think, Wesley, a good opportunity for the intern J, right? I know it starts with a J. Like, maybe they could lead the ones that are in the vehicle, leading the Teds to the location.
Oh no, Jeb travels with me. Jeb is my personal Ted.
Understandable.
Oh yeah, Kit, you've been promoted to my personal Ted, if that is okay with you. You're already familiar with the group structure. I felt like that was just easier. Kid.
Oh, sorry, I was listening to my tooth.
What was the tooth saying?
Saying it like the red sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, there's something I can do with. Now, as the engine's going, we have the opportunity for the whole cooking from Lua May. Because I figured they want to cook as it. And where, like you would see on another vehicle, where you'd have the actual engine, like the plug-in for the cigarette, we have that set up for both the red and the brown sauce to come out.
That's not the steering wheel?
Well, you wanted to use the sauce. I don't see how else we're going to use the sauce unless it's over near the dash where everyone's sitting after they've eaten the meal.
We're cooking
And which
food.
one is the brake? I forgot. Which one is the brake?
Oh, the brakes, that's the right here. Here, you see how there's like a can on top of the lever? Here, like where the actual, see right down here? Like it's where you would
Oh,
put
yeah,
a
I
foot
totally
there,
got
but
it.
it's a can and a brick instead of an actual pedal.
Oh, yeah. I completely get it now. I know exactly how to drive this.
Yeah. Now, again, I figured that you would like it. So roughly where you have the joystick, like the gear shift, that's for your up and down, and the actual wheel itself is for your left and right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I got it.
Yes.
There's going to be no
And-
problems with me driving.
Yes. And again,
None.
like if you have any problems, there's extra like sleeves that we have in there so that we can 'cause-
Please, what?
Yeah,
You
no
can
one
say
ever
that.
uses the sleeves. They're completely useless, right?
No, but you can't say that word around these people.
Well, they get torn apart. Like, here's the thing. Let's turn that waste that is useless and turn that into something that will save us if we crash.
We're
See,
not going to
that
crash.
way.
I'm driving. I'm the best driver you know.
Yes, but again, if we're
I
going to
never
crash,
crash.
we need to do it with
I don't
style.
crash. Don't even say that. I'm not going to crash.
Fine.
We're talking a lot about crashing.
Not me. That's Amanda.
Yes, I wanted you to have all the features. I'm just labeling all the features. Like, because we do have some of those torn sleeves that you feel that are useless. We have a bit of that for our sale, and if like we have that as a flotation device, if we end up crashing.
That's a lot of sleeve usage. I feel like it's casting a negative shadow over this trip, and it's. I'm not saying it's going to turn out bad, but if things turn out bad, I feel like we know where the blame will go.
That's fair. I deserve the blame.
All right. On that note, important question. So you're taking the flying car and you're having some Teds follow on the ground. A, are you entrusting them with your Jeep? And B, if not, how are you securing your Jeep?
I'm
I would
wondering
kinda
if
ride
we
in
should
the
have
Jeep.
if we should have some Teds and some of us in each vehicle.
Wait, but MJ can only drive one thing at a time, right?
That's too.
Okay, that's why I asked. Okay, MJ will drive everything.
I think that's not okay. I'll get the chain out and we can tie one to the other if you want.
If I may, this is crazy. One, what kind of a role would driving be?
That's
Mechanical engineer.
Oh.
I kind of would like to stay on the ground. If that's okay. Less room to fall.
Again, that's why I thought you would be.
Right.
Oh, how about we do this? Wesley, how about you and the interns are on the ground, down directing the Teds in the vehicle, while the rest of us are in the sky vehicle, and we go towards this possible vault location.
Mr. Wesley, can I be your personal Ted?
I mean, it's listen when you're hearing voices, you still got to listen for the rest of it too. Yeah, you've already gotten the promotion. Yes.
Mr. Wesley said I could drive.
I did. Oh, that kind of Ted. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Don't crash my
Lulamay has the sheaf of paperwork and like crayon drawings and like ramblings that Wesley like amassed for her in her hands, and she's looking just really, really distracted.
Now,
Like,
MJ, are you sure that you want to be directing the actual vehicle? Because again, we do have the option of weapons, but you can't do
I'm the
weapons and
driver.
drive. So,
I'm the driver.
okay then.
Okay. So MJ's driving the flying car, and Jeb, aka Ted, is driving a vehicle or your Jeep.
I
Probably
mean,
the
whatever
Jeep.
they trust. I was thinking the Jeep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's either.
I mean, MJ is like brown, but he's driving. She'll let him drive it.
It's either you entrust the Jeep to the Ted that you know, or you leave the Jeep with the Teds that
Right.
you don't.
Okay. He can drive.
All right. I need mechanical engineering rolls from Jeb and from MJ.
Can Amanda assist?
Yes, because you know
MJ
how
needs
the
the help.
darn thing works. You can assist. Holy crap! Y'all drive these things like pros. The flying
Oh,
car
wow.
is flying just as smooth as possible. It's slicker than the Ted brand canned meat grease trap on the griddle at the compound.
Okay,
It's a lot
MJ's
of-
in shock
A lot
that
of
she's
words.
able to drive this without like messing up. You guys have never seen her in shock before. She's in complete shock.
Yeah. Jebediah is like very cautious getting behind the wheel, and then once the car starts, like doing a real good job just following MJ, and then starts to creep ahead slightly, and then like starts looking for like little small hills to kind of jump a little bit, and begins driving more and more recklessly, and just smiles more and more.
As that's happening, Toothy is just going, "Yay! You're
Oh.
doing it! You're doing such a great job driving! This is awesome!"
This is fun. Oh, this is great. I like going fast. Mr. Wesley, am I doing a good job?
As I do like just a quick like little donut and dart off again.
MJ, do you remember if we used the walkie-talkies or not?
I believe Wesley and Jeb took the 2 walkie-talkies, so they're
No,
both in
I'm
the same
imagining
car.
it's more like they used like broken walkie-talkies. They
Like
might
the
have
tin
used
cans.
yes, like and made it work so that roughly they have a communication where it comes out very tinny on your end through your ears.
Sure, we'll say you've got like a short range, like what are they called? CB radios.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you've got one of those that'll work. Made of a lot of different parts that shouldn't go together.
Including the tin cans from the Ted Meats.
Lula May got into the back of the Jeep because she wasn't really paying attention. And she's going over the files and is sort of like helping MJ navigate. Like, so she's on like the 2-way radio thing, like talking to MJ, helping her navigate because she's not quite sure that like she's not really a heights gal, not really a fan.
Okay.
But
So
she's like
the
going
only-
through these papers.
So the only ones on the flying car are Amanda and MJ.
Can you hear me driving? Not that bad.
And there's a couple. I imagine we put some Teds up there with them too because we want to have a lot of meat shields.
That's fair.
Yeah, like one of the Teds I think is the Ted that has a secret journal that everyone knows about is probably working the grill.
We gave you like a wooden wallaby that's hanging out with you. Oh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yep. You're good to go there. Amanda, give me a sight roll as you're flying towards your destination. Yeah, you do not see anything.
Can I want to at least argue to see if can they smell anything?
No, you're too high up in the air.
Oh well,
I
I
will
tried.
say this. So Amanda doesn't see this, but the our audience does see as you fly over what looks like it looks like a field of like molehills, and there's like a rusted most of the way off of its post sign that says minefield, and you can see this like skinny, like lanky sort of lady in like a very threadbare and torn just like everyday dress, holding this weird glowing like cricket bat, and she looks up at the flying car and just sort of follows it with her eyes, and then the camera will pan back up to the car. Then yeah, Amanda, you get a chill, but you don't know why. And then as quickly as it comes on, it passes.
Does anyone smell any sunflower seeds? I'm going to take that as a
Didn't you
no.
just over the left?
All anybody in the flying car is smelling is bacon flavored Ted brand canned meat at the moment because Journal Ted is throwing some on the cooking apparatus that you installed.
I think y'all could probably hear as well, Jeb just just pure happy giggling from the Jeep.
Okay. And then after a while of this, you come up to the location that's marked on your map, and you can see it's a semicircle, sort of cut out of. I wouldn't necessarily call it a mountain. It's a very, very large hill, probably like bordering on mountain size, but it's still pretty small compared to like a big mountain range. And in the semicircle, there are several tiny little caves with like rocks sort of piled up around the opening. And you see a bunch of sun-bleached bones and remains of animal corpses and things like that in the middle of this semicircle. But there is a larger cave at the sort of apex of this semicircle, which seems to go into the hill itself. And that is what you see as you approach. How would you like to do this?
So I'm open to suggestions. I feel like most of my experience in situations like this is I would go in like an idiot and draw all attention towards me, and then we would just kill whatever comes out, which I'm not opposed to.
MJ, do you see a circle? Like, do you see any openings in the cave? Like from above? Like as we're circling around?
I've been trying to focus on not crashing.
And I will say,
got it in my head, but that's all I can think about right now.
I will say, even without a roll, both of you are not able to see any sort of like opening where you could get the flying car into the cave. It's just the cave on the ground. That's the only entrance that you're able to see.
Amanda will pick up the CAN receiver on their end of the ham radio and just go, Wesley, do you think that Molotov Ted would be a good idea to just go in and drop whatever is in there out, and when they come chasing out, we just drop everything on them?
Mr. Wesley, look, this thing has hydraulics apparently.
Right, wait. Are you still all up in the air? Did we not install landing gear?
Oh, we do. It's just that if they can come out or drawn out to here, we can attack them from above while you're from below. So we have a pincer attack, so they can't actually avoid being shot at, and we can just murder whatever comes out.
I don't know that that's a pincer attack for us. I think we're still in the getting shot at field there.
I'm open to better ideas. This is just my idea. I know I don't have the best ideas, but I don't see anyone else shooting out an idea.
I mean, you could drop off your TEDs at least. We could use. You could
Okay.
unload your TED cargo.
Okay, though I'm
Let's try
keeping journal like the one with a secret journal, because that one knows how to cook real well. Oh. And then
Why do we have to give up our heads?
we're gonna bring
None of them
down.
are your TEDs. None of them are your TEDs.
Again, like, so what Amanda does is she kind of like goes to the back and presses a lever, and out comes like an iron fence that extends downwards. Or it's with like an anchor at the end, so it goes down to the bottom so that the Teds can climb down if they want, or we can just go down where the anchor is.
So it's like a rope ladder, but it's a metal fence.
Yes.
That's amazing. Okay. Yeah, the handful of Teds climb down. Journaled Head gives you a thumbs up and a grunt as he continues to cook on the grill. And Jeb, if I could get a sight roll from you with advantage as you're exploring the wonders and features of this fancy Jeep. 21.
Yay,
Awesome.
that's way better than that natural one.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how you play it, it's all going to be about the same, because you notice there's a big, shiny red button on the gear shift that you hadn't noticed before.
Are the hydraulics still amusing?
I mean, I'm not sure what Jeb's attention span is, but it's entirely up to you if you're still amused by the hydraulics or if you're getting bored.
Mr. Wesley, what's this button do?
I don't know. Isn't there some tenet about like ask not about E buttons, just press or something like that?
Okay.
Lula
I'll
May
press the
like
button.
pops up. Lula May pops up from the back seat, like huge rustling of papers, and she's like, "I'd like to kindly remind you that we unfortunately and perhaps rather illegally lifted this Jeep from Danco a couple of days ago. So, I mean, I don't know how you all feel about the pressing of random red buttons, but I mean, I don't need all of corporate calamity bearing down my neck right now."
I have pressed the button at least 3 times.
Okay, cool. Give me a mechanical engineering roll to see how well you handle the now NOS-fueled engine that is pointed towards the large cave.
18.
Can I assist?
Yes, you can.
Or will that do it? Okay. That's mechanical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. So the car lurches forward. There's like somehow even on a dirt, not even really a road, you have managed to like burn rubber, and it lurches forward suddenly. There's Ted's on the floor of the car, and you are careening rapidly towards the cave, the large cave in the middle of the semicircle. You've created a lot of noise, and you start to hear some barking sounds coming from those other openings in the semicircle.
Mr. Wesley, I feel so alive.
You've got a pretty good hold on the wheel, and Lula May's given you some pretty good advice on how to keep control of the car. What would you like to do with this speeding missile of a vehicle?
I would like to drive into the cave.
Fantastic.
Things we all could have predicted for 100, please.
Yep. What is careening through the opening of the cave into the dark cavern? For
MJ,
100?
is that a thing we're supposed to care about if they disappear into the cave?
Are they running?
They went into the cave in a giant fireball.
You
In
just
my
hear
car?
the echoing cries of "Wee!"
Yep. As you careen into the cavern, MJ and Amanda, the radio communication that you had with the Jeep suddenly cuts out. There's no sound coming back from their radio. You do hear a crash, as even with being in full control of the Jeep, there's only so much room in the cavern, and the Jeep is at a certain speed where stopping is literally impossible. So the Jeep does crash. Good news, it's not totaled. You're just missing a bumper at this point.
Can Can MJ like run and see what happened to her poor car?
We're in a
Uh,
sky vehicle, so are you
But
going to try to run off the sky car?
so isn't there like the thing
the,
I can't use
there,
words today.
there is
The
a
metal
ladder.
thing.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
ladder to get down, but if you hop out, then nobody's driving the car and it will crash.
No, like you just have to tell Amanda, and Amanda will take over.
Okay.
For
Well,
that.
Amanda, I am going to check
But-
on the car.
Before you do that, though,
Okay,
there's
sorry.
some more information that may change your mind. So I'm just going to give you this information, and then it's entirely up to you if you still want to do that. So there's a crash bumper for those who crashed. Once you sort of shake off the impact, you notice that the bumper is missing. The headlights are still working, though. And you see that this cavern... it's almost like the entire inside of the cavern is made of some sort of obsidian. It's an extremely dark purple, almost black. But as the light kind of plays off of it, you can see that it's got some purple hues to it. And you hear howling and barking behind you. And then MJ and Amanda, when you look down, you can see that easily a dozen dire dogs have already come out of these caves, and you get the feeling that there's more, and they're starting to run towards the large cave where everybody else has just crashed. And with that, I think that's where we're going to end the session. So next week we'll find out what's up with this cave, and what's going to happen with all these dire dogs chasing after the Jeep.
Before, can we at least find out if MJ goes down or not? Because I feel like that's a good
Sure.
answer.
MJ, knowing what you know now, do you still climb down that ladder?
No, I will tell Amanda what I see and look for those weapons that I wasn't paying attention to.
Then Amanda will hit
Okay.
the green button, and we'll end on that.
Okay, sounds good. Well, that was a lot of fun. We're gonna do our outros here and then go on a raid. So let's start with Michael. What was your favorite part of the session? Where can we find you next? And is there anything else you'd like to share?
Well, I feel like this is gonna say everyone like Mr. Toothy. He just like I think stole the show. So that's gotta probably be my favorite. Like I do like the back and forth of like MJ is the supervisor to Amanda, and the whole like budding relationship that seems to be happening out of Wesley and Lula Maine as the parents of the group. Like that is just so great. Yeah. I'm Michael Wayne. You give me a clip, I'll give you a GIF. You can probably see me, I think it's soon on Bardic Knox channel it's either happening this week or soon, which I'll be joining for a Digimon game. And Saturday, looking for players in a one-shot in the system where you have to defeat capitalism to have your dreams again. Remember, we're all in this together. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And then next we've got IC Historian. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
Oh man, I think my favorite part, I do like the crossroads that the Church of the Sleeveless Way finds itself at, and I do like the relationship there and the sort of building of that, and I like scheming, so I feel good about scheming. You can find me here on Tuesdays, and at IC Historian anywhere else I feel like being found. I'm going to be on Polished Cryptids channel on October 10th doing a Call of Cthulhu one-shot with Wesley, and that's going to be great. Well, not with Wesley, with Attack Trick. Wesley is here on Calamity, not eating brownie batter. And that's pretty much what I got going on.
Fantastic. Next, we'll hop over to, speaking of Pat, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
I think my favorite part was I just because of how poorly any of our car stunts went the first season. I think my favorite part is Jeb succeeding at his different car maneuvers. In addition to the fact that MJ has not crashed anything yet, just the vehicle driving being so successful is sadly my favorite part. Yeah, I'm Attack Trick on Twitch and Twitter. Next place you could catch me is this Friday on my channel, because I do, like I said, I do occasionally remember to stream things. And Zan will be there, and Leland will be there, and we're gonna be playing some more Divinity Original Sin. And then,
Awesome.
like Jen mentioned, I'll be on Polished Cryptid's channel for that Call of Cthulhu one shot. I think a week or two after that, I'm gonna be running another spooky one shot of Trophy Dark, which, if no one's gotten to play, there's still 2 spots left there too. So let me know if you're interested. That'll be fun.
Awesome. Next, we'll head over to Nikki. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
I like the Tooth part as well. I just thought it was really funny. But this whole thing is so much fun. I just love this game. I'm having a great time. I'm so bad with what days things are.
No worries. If you're thinking of school days, that's
Yeah.
We're not having that game this week, but next week. It'll be at 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
Yeah, that's where you'll see me and here.
Fantastic. And then, last but not least, Zan. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else that you'd like to share?
Yes, I'm Zan. My favorite part was actually getting to roll something that Wesley is good at. Like, I've been real low key about what Wesley's strength, not Wesley, God, Jebediah's strengths. Mr. Wesley, I've been real low key about it, but Jeb is wickedly good at tech and mechanical engineering, like really, really good. It's very exciting to finally get to show off his skill case just a little bit and kind of show a little bit more depth than just the insecure intern. I'm enjoying that a little bit. Finally getting to see a little bit of chaotic side to him. Because what kid doesn't go crazy when you put him behind the wheel of a car for the first time? And yeah, it's like I said, I'm Zan. I am a professional DM and content creator for 5e and World of Darkness and Powered by the Apocalypse and a whole bunch of other games out there. And currently, I'm also working on I'm working as a story writer for an app that's in development. And I will drop that in a chat as soon as I'm done with this. But yeah, I am also moving across the world in a few weeks. So if anyone is looking for some private GM work, my rates are being lowered because I need to make a little bit of scratch. Or if you know any good jobs or are looking for a roommate, hit me up. Yeah, so if you need to get in contact with me, you can find me at twitter.com/insanityttrpg, or you can find the cool new app that I'm working on over at facebook.com/necronomicon. And it's French. That's my whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome. On the app thing, that's cool. All right, and then my favorite part. It's hard to pick one because y'all got up to just some really funny stuff today. I think my favorite part actually was Jebediah's reaction to Dr. Ted explaining how the procedure was going to work. Just the flat line. I think that was probably my favorite part. And then, of course, the all of that whole situation coming from plot points and introducing Toothy, which is like a more wholesome version of Brownie from last campaign. Um, that was also pretty great. Um, so yeah, I think that was my favorite part, but the whole thing was great. Y'all are amazing. Also, just the constant product placement of grinding coffee company. That cracked me
You
up.
can get a discount if you put in the code RAVVYN.
It's true. And I'll have links to the sponsors again in chat before we go to our raid. Um, but as for where you can find me next, I will be back here at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow night for Exodus, the Sunken City, where I'll be reprising my role of Niklaus Sebastian Adama, who is he's a bad guy, but he's not the bad guy. I'm playing essentially an evil party member, and we're in a literal sunken city. It's a city under the ocean that's being overrun by basically super high mutated people. It is based on Bioshock, uh, so it's gonna be a really fun game. I really enjoy that role, and it's also much like this cast, another stellar cast. So definitely come check it out. And then after that, we've got the finale of Sword of Kalas over on Encounter Roleplay on Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be pretty awesome. There's going to be more than likely an epic space battle with lots of ships and stuff. It's going to be fun. Lots of Klingon hijinks. So that's where you can find me next. Other things to share. Let's see. There's lots. Patreon. I'm still doing a ton more on Patreon this month now that the new season's started and my schedule has eased up with that. So I'm working on a lot of other creative projects. Also making a lot more content on TikTok now that we know it looks like it's gonna stick around. So the TikTok RPG series is going to be starting up on there as well, and it's the same name on TikTok as it is on Twitter, The Raven, just like it says right here. So also check that out, and I think that's about it. As Michael mentioned, this coming Saturday we're doing that one shot also on Fundamental RPG, this system that we're using for hunters, and it's going to be pretty awesome. Michael's GMing. If you want to play, just shoot me a DM on Discord or on Twitter, and I will get your name on the list. Currently, we've got one person signed up to play, and I expect that to fill up pretty quickly. So the sooner you send me a DM, the better. We'll have room for probably about 6 players in total. So let me know, and then we're gonna go on a raid. Our raid cry. I went ahead and just chose this one because I really enjoyed how it turned out. Existence is pain, so this next part is going to be a lot of existing. Our quote from Dr. Ted. And then we're going to go raid Dice Fury, who are also doing some cool tabletop stuff. So yeah, we'll head over there in just a moment, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.